Ec49b Inside the Courthouse of Creation. Soul to Soul Talk. Inside the Courthouse of Creation, Part B. Life Guiding Conversations with Morai, Amoro and Jenai Summer. Hello Jenai, and let's continue our conversation regarding the topic Living Inside the Courthouse of Creation. Yes, Morai, but could you first speak more about our account of action and reaction, which we have and which we bring with us into this life? What about young children that die or that are confronted with horrible diseases and finding themselves in horrible situations? For that matter of fact, what about so many people that are confronted with so much devastation? Jenai, when we do not accept the fact of a universal jurisdiction system being the indisputable laws, we will only live a life of injustice and being victims, and do not want to account for actions. Individuals come into this life with an account that needs to be paid. Either this account is the account from our forefathers or previous lives. When we are not inclined to accept one of these two I just mentioned, we must accept it all as His will, the will of Kandu, the Creator, or any other name given to that which is from beyond name and form. Although as He is only love and would not judge us, we can accept His will how He has set up the creation, governed by these indisputable laws. By looking at it from this perspective, we could also accept all that is happening as His will. It doesn't matter what we believe, but everybody comes with a backpack, so to speak, an account that needs to be settled. Morai, I just remembered now that in one of our conversations in the past, you called it our perfect personal bank account of all our past actions. Nice, Jenai, that you remember this. And not to forget, in our perfect personal book of life is also a special plan. The plan or door or guidance to get us out of it again. There will be someone showing up, reminding us about all these facts and offering us a way out. And when we are not ready or open for that, we just stay busy with trying to create some comfort in our self-created prison. From our level of understanding, we cannot comprehend this at all until we are at the level back being a soul with Kandu, the Creator. For the moment, we are living in separation or in prison, so to speak, but the bigger plan is about getting us out. When we cannot see this, then there is no hope, and we live a life of devastating suffering, even with more suffering than all the suffering there is already by living in separation and in this self-created prison, inside the courthouse of creation. Morai, talk more about the suffering you just mentioned. Life in prison is all about suffering, and actually everything in the realm of creation is connected to suffering, which we try to ignore. Every day we are looking for pleasures to compensate for our suffering, but these pleasures will cause even more suffering. This world is set up by Kandu, the Creator, that it will never work out to our expectations. When things would work out, which is trying to create a heaven on earth, we would never think about finding out who we really are, where we came from, and about Kandu and the ocean of love. So suffering is part of everything. From loving your toy that breaks and you feeling that lost. From having a good friend that you lose by that person moving away. The excitement of learning something that becomes an enemy when it becomes your daily job. from going on a vacation, connected to all the preparations and getting challenged or confronted with something unpleasant. The happiness of falling in love and then seeing it disappear and even becoming a struggle to be with that person. The happiness of a child that comes into the world and later in life you have to deal with it being in the teenage years. When we would look in all honesty, we will see a kind of suffering connected to everything, which could remind us about the prison. Instead of putting all our energy into dressing the jail up with momentary, mortal and short-lived comforts and pleasures, also using the energy for our real life purpose. The purpose to find out what and who we really are and where we came from and how to return. Now back to the suffering, which is part of another indisputable law being the law of opposites. And in the creation, one side cannot exist without the other. Not realizing this, we become the judge about the things we approve of, like and welcome, and the judge of what we don't approve of, dislike, not welcome, and by doing so, not accepting the law and even judging Kandu, the one who put this law down. We welcome the changes we would like to see happening and go against so many things that are part of an ever-changing world and even manipulating nature. By seeking to control and hold on to things we cannot hold on to, we are in the suffering and go against the indisputable law of change. We pay in endless ways, from struggling to signs, symptoms, and disease in every aspect of life. We are in the rat race with time, eating too fast, stressing the body out, not giving it proper rest, and all having tickets laying ready, which we will have to pay for at one point in time. All this by disturbing the natural harmony in creation. See what we do to ourselves, others, and the planet, directly or indirectly, and see how much more debit we create in our account. We forget that we are living inside the courthouse of creation, and everything is recorded, and we must account for everything. So, in addition to feeling separated from Kandu, which is the root cause of all problems, and the pain connected to that, and the general suffering connected to all we experience, we have to suffer on top of all of this by not living according to his laws, breaking the laws of the universe and nature, which takes place within our own body and the world around us. On top of that all, we disobey man-created laws, for without it we cannot even live with each other, and pay for that as well. Jenai, I think that was enough for today on the subject, and we continue the next time. Thank you, Morai. You are most welcome, Jenai.